Hello my dear Pisces, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between January 1st and January 15, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. The astrological part I have put in a separate video, so for those of you who are interested to see the astrological development during January 2018, you can watch that video. Also, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So I used Modern Spellcasters Tarot with Melanie Marquise and illustrated by Scott Murphy, and I will open your deck here, and we see the Queen of Swords and the Hangman. So some of you might be dealing with Libra, an Aquarius, or an Gemini person, or it might be that you are yourself being a little bit cutting, like you're cutting away things that no longer serves you, and you're also sacrificing life situations, people, relationships, things that no longer suit you in your life. And we see here with the Queen of Swords, she has this kind of Taurus symbol here as well, so it's showing groundedness and stability, and maybe also stubbornness. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we have also the Six of Wands. So it's like you're growing, it's like you're maturing, and the Six of Wands is a card where you lead people to victory. So you're making win-win situations with people, and you need to be a very good example for others. So it might be that the things that you do in your life is going to have echo effect in other people's life situations. So if you are being able to sacrifice situations that no longer serves you, maybe you are also then a good example for other people, so they can follow you and be as brave as you. Okay, so I call this 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and here we have a 2 of Wands, so that's also self-control. And I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Pisces viewers. So we also saw the 4 of Pentacles and King of Wands, so it's like you're building on your kingdom. King of Wands might also be that you are going to meet a soulmate, or you're dealing with a soulmate, or you yourself are becoming more inside the masculine part of your soul. It's like you're getting more like with these boundaries, and maybe you're more goal oriented as well. Like you don't invite things in your life that doesn't resemble the thing that you want in the end. You don't take like something broken, like a partner, for example, that's not really what you want, and try to fix them. You aim towards what you really want. You want, if you are working with yourself a great deal, like what it's seen with the Hangman, you also want a person that are equally invested in their own personal growth and want to grow together with you. So it's like you're cutting away everything that's unnecessary in your life, sacrificing a lot of things, getting self-control, boundaries, and becoming more and more about your soul and what you want, and you're following your soul's goal. And they're also probably starting to crystallize a lot more with the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. I want my dear Pisces to have love in their lives and to find themselves. Yes. Okay, Knight of Wands here and Ace of Pentacles. So it could be a new beginning with something that you may or may not trust. It might be that you don't know if you can trust this energy. Knight of Wands is energy that wants to come in and stir in the pot. So you will have adventures, you will have fun, but when the stirring is done, the person is gone. So it's usually a lot with spiritual growth when the Knight of Wands comes in, but And we see here is the Two of Cups as well. The Page of Pentacles that's holding this seed. It's like you have a mission. And the Seven of Cups, this is the trust issues. You might have been in relationships before where you haven't really felt loved and safe, and therefore you don't know if you can trust this new energy, if it's going to give you a heartbreak. And here you have the Page of Cups, also might be a person that's not particularly mature, but still being everything you want. So yes, it's a big temptation that will come in for you Pisces. And it's yes, we are going into the year of the alchemist process. We can see this with the Five of Wands here. It's when you meet a person and they are nothing what you are, so you need to learn from them and they need to learn from you. If one is having no boundaries, that person is going to learn a lot and the other person is not going to learn a thing, okay? But if both people have healthy boundaries, both people are probably going to learn from this situation. If the love is there, because the love between people is kind of the glue that keeps you together, even when it's a rocky road, even though you have a lot of things that you need to learn from each other and you kind of buckling up against each other. So the love is the glue. But we can see here this King of Cups, it's Scorpio, so Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, of course, and love. So it seems like you have had your fair share of troubled love relationships, but the troubled is not the problem. The only problem is if you lose yourself, like with the Seven of Cups, if you lose yourself in a relationship that's not healthy, if you have a relationship that's with a lot of conflict, you can still learn a lot of things, but how can I say this? It's you need to go through this with being very mature, and it's like you healed, okay? If you're a whole person, you don't have any wounds from the past, or you don't go around disregarding yourself or not loving yourself, then you can go into these relationships and learn a lot without getting hurt. So you need to kind of love yourself first and then go into these situations, and also practice on self-love. Rather sacrifice the situation than yourself. Especially for empaths, you have the tendency to sacrifice everything for someone that you love. But it seems like, again, it might be talking about a soulmate person that's coming in for you, Pisces. Okay, so what's going on for Pisces the first part of January 2018, new year and everything? Okay, so here is your reading. I will just tune into it for a few seconds. So, my dear Pisces, this is your future. And this is your now. Oh, you got two nows. And this is the past. King of Cups is in your past. It seems like you have healed from something. Yes, King of Swords. You might have learned to become more self-sufficient, like be in your own body and having it as your cradle or your survival vessel. We see here Four of Pentacles, Four of Cups, also the Queen of Swords. So you might have learned from a rather difficult person how to heal yourself, how to become more whole, how to not run around and, you know, falling head over heels and then crawling in the dirt for someone, but actually being more mature, more grown up, and you have your safety vessel. Like you can always survive inside your own sphere, inside your own self-love, if the outside world starts to become very unloving in times of precarious needs. Okay, so we have this two thingy. It's interesting. Okay, so it might be the two backsides that need to be shown, but the Page of Swords together with the King of Pentacles. The Page of Swords is a situation where you are very clear with what is the truth, and the King of Pentacles is a person that is in power of an authority. They don't they want something in their life. They are very economical and very preserving of their own energy. So this is Page of Swords. I used to say that this is like when Jesus went into the temple and drove out all the merchandisers from his father's temple. So I'm thinking you Pisces are driving out all the people that kind of wants to prey on you, or wants to not being authentic. It's like they're trying to get power over you by entangling you maybe into lies and deception, and like with the Seven of Cups, what we saw. King of Pentacles can be an actual person, like a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, but it might be just this energy, like a person being very preserving of their own energy, but having maybe trouble to give it away. We don't see this in this picture because this King of Pentacles is very luscious, but usually he lives in the tower. Okay, so I think that was the message. And here you have the future, and here we have the Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords might be those situations in time where you need to really go inwardly and sort out where the pain is coming from. We are going through a rather difficult cycle during a late part of December and January. In January it's also going to have 2 full moons. You can check that out with the astrological video that I made if you want to know more about that. But in Nine of Swords can be when you're tormenting yourself with, could I have done better? Could I have worked this out? If I have done this and this and that, maybe it would have worked out. Maybe she would have stayed. Maybe he wouldn't have left me, or maybe I wouldn't have lost my job. Or so it might be a lot of things going on with guilt and reminiscing, but also with like victim mentality. You can't believe how a person could do that towards you. Okay, so okay. We'll see. I'm giggling here, but it's because for me, I have already went through this for a great part of my lifetime. I have been in deep agony because I'm a very sensitive person. I'm born Leo, but I was supposed to be a Cancer, so I identify equal to Cancer and Leo. And I have taken on a lot of other people's pain. So I really know, I'm giggling because I know that this is actually easy. When you have gone through it, it's actually easy. It's actually, you're going to become happy. So it's actually good news that this card comes, because if you do the work, if you sit with your pain, you open the door to your pain and just welcome it, it will actually make you it will change you. It will make you more a happy person. Okay. So I'm recognizing myself. It's like I'm seeing what I went through and how miserable I were, and how much I felt victimized by God and universe and all the people around me. I still feel that the world is off, like it's lopsided or off. It's not balanced, but it's not really affecting me, because I won't invite these energies in my life. They can be out there, and I'm trying to help the best I can with spreading another awareness, but I'm not going to let a person like that or a situation like that into my life anymore. So I'm not blaming anyone else for my situation, and that is like, it's make you much more stronger. So it's actually happy news. If you go through this, it's like a gateway, and then you're free. So this is your past, Pisces, and we have 18 moon here, so that's much the same energy like the Nine of Swords. I have already forgotten what you had here, the King of Cups. Okay, so you might already have gone through the greatest part of this cycle, where you have regret a lot of things, or felt totally lost, or had maybe gone through a depression, or something similar to this, like a life crisis. So the moon card is this dark night of the soul, where you need to face all your previous pain, also from past lifetimes and from your childhood and all your earlier life situations emotions and relationships, everything that you haven't felt. It's like this: if you go to your workplace, someone said something rude, you just ignore it and you go on with your day. That's actually going to put a little bit of like black smudge somewhere in your body, because you didn't stay with the pain of it. You didn't confront that person, so it's actually going to stain you. So what you really should have done is, even if you didn't react in that moment, because if you are a well-raised person, you're usually polite and you are set like to being polite, so you might not recognize when the person is rude. So if you recognize it at the situation or a little bit later, you go back and you say, that what happened earlier, I felt you were I felt actually you were rather rude. What was that about? What did you really want to say to me, or what did you mean? So that's one way to not smudge yourself. And another way is to stay with the pain, like the feeling of being humiliated, and just staying with it, because your attention is the key. Because we are built like this, that we have this great warning signals telling us that something is wrong, and to turn them off, we need to give them attention, as much attention as the energy has been building up. Like if you are really, really hurt and really, really traumatized, it might take like a year or two to get over the thing. For example, if you have been in a minor car crash where you got injured but no one died or got injured for life, so that might take like 2 years to get over, but not like in a flat line 2 years, but circular 2 years. Every time at that date you might become a little bit depressed and you don't really remember what it was all about, and you have to stay with it, and so it might go on like this. And this is how you clean yourself, because and it might be, I don't know exactly why the system is like this, but I guess it's because we need to learn and we need to pay attention. If we didn't hurt, we wouldn't learn, and we would go like totally whole through life, and nothing would ever bother us, and we wouldn't learn a thing. So it's actually here to torment us a little bit, to make us learn different things. So you need to always listen to this energy and give it equal amount of attention as is built up in this pain. In other case, you will be stuck there, or you will like put more and more weight on yourself until you feel very heavy. And here we also have the Judgment. So it seems like you Pisces has gone through something, maybe health issues, maybe relationship or work life crisis, or some kind of life situation has been rather dark, but actually for a good reason, because the Judgment here, it's like a revelation. You want to it's like you need to know what has been going on. You need to know what's happening, what has happened to you maybe before. So you might go through a similar experience again to get back the memory of it. For example, if you say that you have been persecuted for your political views during the 1700s, okay, for some 100 years ago, and maybe you got killed or imprisoned for the rest of your life. So now this lifetime you might be very careful with what you say, and you are always challenged, and people are kind of saying, so is that really your view? Is that really how you think? And you need to start to become aware of this and start to say, yes, this is really how I think. This is really who I am. Both these cards are talking about revelation of something that has been hidden, some old knowledge, or something that you have feared so much, so you have gone like a cat around the hot milk, and not wanting to approach the actual situation, because it has been a deep-rooted fear here. You can live your whole life avoiding certain situation that's that you're afraid of, but it will be like it's this big block in your life. So what you actually need to do is go straight forward to that thing and investigate it. I was not scared of anything when I was small, but when I got a little bit older, like 12 years maybe, I got scared of snakes. And before I wasn't. I was really interested in watching snakes, as I was with any animal. But then I became fearful, and now in grown-up age I have had to face this and pet snakes and, you know, move snakes from the road and all those things, or save them from my, they are sleeping where I have the equipment for my horses and I need to maybe move them away and things like this. And it's my fear of change. And now I have learned that change is good. Okay. And here you have the Empress. So you see, it's only major arcana card, and it's talking about your femininity. So I think you have been hurt where you were most fragile, like where you were most loving and receptive. It's like when the person that is the kindest, the nicest, the most outgiving is getting really into some deep trouble with some abusive people or into abusive situations. So really this innocent victim kind of thing. So I think you have been hurt somewhere where it really felt. Maybe in the role of being a mother. I'm talking about past life here. You might have lost children, or you might have really loved someone that weren't really loving you back, and maybe even hurt you in many different ways. It might have been situations like this. And here we have Seven of Swords. So it seems like the one... I think you are in real deep karma here, Pisces. You are shackled together with a situation or a person, or different situations than persons that you have been working with for many lifetimes. And it's kind of a repetitive pattern that's going on in your life. And it's like if the other person doesn't do the work, you are not free either. So it might be that you're actually shackled together with your worst enemy, like the person that has hurt you lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And now you need to really get aware of this, because the Seven of Swords is when we really don't want to know the truth about this person, because the truth is so awful. We rather want to live in the illusions of it all and pretend like they are good. For example, if you grow up in a family with abusive parents, you really want to see just the nice sides of that parent. You're thinking about the good things with this parent. When you are small, you are thinking, well, they bought me candy last Saturday, or they did this, or they did that, because you can't get away from these people, because they are your parents and you love them to death. So therefore, you kind of cut away everything that you don't want to see. So many of you are Pisces, are with perpetrators, and you are not seeing what they are doing because you don't want to see what they are doing. You want to pretend like everything is good, and it's not. And you're kind of surrounding yourself with the enemy. So with the Seven of Swords, on the other hand, you are together with a person that doesn't want to take responsibility. They are not, they don't learn, probably because of the same reason as you. You have maybe, this can go either way. Like if you're a cross-watcher for Pisces, this might as easily be the Pisces that's the other side of this. And it's the same if you're a Pisces, you might have one or the other side. So one of these persons have a lot of guilt from a situation that they have been perpetrator again and again, and the other has been victim. So you have two different sides of the coin. You have learned to see things from two different perspectives, and it's this school that we're going into. So it's not like the perpetrator is the bad one and the victim is the good one. Maybe 10,000 years ago the roles were reversed. So it's because we need to have the experience from every different angle. Like person that make fun of people that has disabilities, for example, might become disabled, and a person that's a racist might become like a refugee, and so on until we learn. So it seems like someone doesn't want to, they don't want to have the guilt of what they have done, and it's kind of, you know, just hiding behind the door. So every time when things heat up and you start to get to the core of things, like what they have really done or what has happened in your relationship to this day, they are gone. You don't see them anymore. When you confront them about things, they are overwhelmed with guilt and they are doing the disappearance act. They are just gone, and they don't think that they need to take responsibility, and they couldn't if they they can't stay with it either, because they don't want to feel the pain. Here's the Two of Swords kind of emphasizing that, saying the same thing, that they don't want to feel the pain, they just want to be a flat line like this. And it might be that you're dealing with an air sign. They have this ability to close off their heart if they lose balance in their lives. For example, if they start to feel guilt, or they start to feel love, or they start to, it doesn't have to be an air sign, but someone with this kind of personality. One person is deeply traumatized, and the other is acting like there's no problem. And they're saying that this person has the problem. This is this person. They might be like they are ill. They are mentally ill. They have this and this problem. And this person is acting like they are holier than holy and doesn't have a problem at all. It's nothing wrong with them. And actually, they are the cause to this whole situation. But they don't take the blame for it. They just sneak away during the night and they are gone. Like when you are hurting the most, suddenly there's just, you know, the note on the coffee table, and they are gone because they didn't want to take the guilt of what they have done. But this is, it's kind of good news, because we have the King of Cups here. It's talking about you healing, and probably you will be able, with this kind of pain here, you will be able to start see the situation for what it is, and what you really have surrounded yourself into. In a love relationship, we should feel loved. That's the first key. If you don't feel loved, there's not a love relationship. If you doubt about the love, it's not a love relationship. You should feel safe. Okay, the relationship should build like a platform for you and the other person, and both of you should feel safe. You should feel consistently treated, like the same thing is happening over and over again, consistently, like good things. The person tells you where they are, when they are coming home. They are planning dinner together with you. They are planning weekends together with you. They are planning trips with you. If this isn't there, you're not in a love relationship. You're living with a perpetrator or a person that's not interested in you. This can also be lack of interest. Like one is going to hell and is really in love, and the other person doesn't feel a thing. And if you are with a person like this, it's probably because you're conditioned like this. You have been domesticated by your parents that this is how love should feel. Like if you would have a person that were really giving you all those things, like making you feel loved and supported and safe, and you know, like in a partnership, probably you might feel like, is this really love? You might be starting to take this person for granted, and then it's because you are not healed. When you're healed, this is the the obvious kind of relationship that you want to be in. This would be like this wouldn't be possible if you have healed yourself. So that was in the past, so it's in December, and here we have January, the first half, with this Page of Swords and the King of Pentacles energy. So this one person that sits safe, and the other one is going to go in there and tell the truth. So I think this person is going to have to hear the truth. So the first card here underneath the moon is justice. When you have realized what you have been dealing with, you are going to start to want to give yourself justice. No one is going to do it for you. Universe is not even going to do it for you. If you have kind of been victimized, not by your own fault, but say that your village was invaded by an outside force and they killed you. And so now you are in a karma with the person that killed you. In next lifetime, they might not kill you, but they might come and steal your stuff. And you don't investigate the matter. You try to go to the police, you try to get justice, but the things are stolen. You never get them back. Next lifetime, you might be in a relationship with this person. They steal your heart and they go away with it. So this is when you start to get real control over the matter. Now you can actually do something about it. Now you can start to give yourself justice. So it seems like you Pisces are in this kind of situation with a perpetrator from the past, where you can actually now start to give yourself justice. And you can take control. You can take the matters in your own hand. The hand there is dead. So it's showing this cycle of life that you have died and being born again, died and being born again. The pomegranate here, it has like 61 seeds. I think it's 61 or 63. I need to check that up, but probably I would forget it. So it's showing that you have lived so many lifetimes, and it's time to bring justice to yourself. This is past life, this is justice, okay? So give justice to in your past life. And this is the perpetrator, and this is the victim usually. And we need to be able to, the victim needs to be able to start to defend themselves, and the perpetrator needs to get a heart. So this is what we are doing here. And here you see the justice is going with green clothes here, and she has the like the torn crown around. It's almost like she has, it's like a harvest symbol both around in her hair and at her waist there. So it's showing the suffering that you have been through and how you can turn it into celebration. Like, Eureka, I got it. Now I've learned all these things, and you are not even hurt anymore because you have healed yourself. So it looks like an amazing opportunity, and it's like this window in time, because the karma is locked inside the planets. When there's happening a karma and the planet's in a certain position, or Saturn is usually also very much involved. When the planet is in the same position, it's like in this Charles movie, Hercules, the Titans, they are going to be useful for you. So it's what the three wise women says to Hades. Like, when the planet's in the right position, the thing from the deep, like underground things are going to be revealed, so you can use them. So this is like perfect moment in time for you yourself to give yourself justice or heal all karma. Either you are the perpetrator or not. If you're the perpetrator, it's time to start to stay with the shame, and when you stay with the shame, it's going to transform you. It's like giving it attention, and it's transforming you. It's like with any pain, it will transform you. It will change you on a DNA level and give you the latest update, or the update from 10,000 years ago that you didn't receive because you tried to not have a heart. And then when you're updated, you will have a conscious, and you won't do those things anymore. So that's the only thing you need to do. Stay with the guilt of it all. As long as you feel guilty, you stay with the guilt. So it's nothing worse than that. And when you have stayed with the guilt and felt the guilt, you will have integrated that, and you will never do those things again. So because you won't be able to. And here we have a 9 of Pentacles. So it seems like this is singles energy. It's like Virgo in Venus. It's loving yourself. It's becoming like fully in love with yourself. And we can see, I'm always curious about this card, because some of my viewers said that this shell above this, it's a shell on this this little squirrel's head, but for me it looks like this hood where you have when you are going to be executed. And it might be that you are going to stay in stillness inside yourself, in your self-love, and going through the times when you have got executed, or you have been falsely treated, like wrongly treated or victimized in different ways, and you're just going to not make a fuss about it, just, you know, be with it. And okay, so this was what happened, and interesting, and this is how it feels. Oh, I can feel it now. Yes, that's why I had this neck pain. Sorry. Or throat issue, for that matter, for the one time when, well, I don't know, something has happened obviously to my throat as this come when I'm talking about this. But if you have pains in the neck, in the chest, in the shoulder, in the hip, whatever it is, it might be traumas from earlier lifetimes, how you have died, or how you have got deeply traumatized in some way, like through an accident or something. So it's also staying with those kinds of pain. This is talking about the body. And yes, my throat is telling me it's time for something deep water diving again. I'm not even a Pisces. Okay, yes. You see here this, what I saw, justice and this, your body and the death that you have gone through. It's like you need to go through it again. And it's not going to be dangerous, because you're just going to feel the pain of it all in your body, but you're not going to die. You're just going to relive it so you can actually release it. Okay. I myself, I lived an awful lot of lifetimes on Earth. I have been here forever. I'm kind of a little bit bored by it, actually. So I don't need to travel anywhere. I have already seen everything. I don't need to do this and that, but I have seen it all. Is like what my foundation feeling. So I have died in many different ways, and it's I can feel it in my body, but I'm releasing one thing after the other, and this is what you need to do too. One thing after the other. I'm actually, since I started to read Tarot, I have been working with this with my throat, and because I need to talk a lot, so it's actually becoming a little bit of an issue. So Empress here, death. This is Scorpio as well. Taurus, Scorpio, Libra, Scorpio. We have gone through this Scorpio energy. Here you have Moon. So this is Pisces, Cancer. Not so much Scorpio, actually. And here you have Libra. And this is Aquarius. So you might be dealing with some of these signs. Or you have this in your chart and it's starting to become activated. It seems like Scorpio is very activated with you here, but it's no wonder. We have had Sun in Scorpio recently. So, okay. The next card here is the Page of Wands. So, here you're going through this major death, and this person that you have been dealing with is now maybe wants to approach you and talk with you, and it's like they are happy and they are coming because they want something happy and funny with you. So you are going to hell, and the other person is thinking, well, maybe it was unfair of me to leave, and we really had fun together, and maybe I should call them. So they haven't a clue, and they haven't, you know, they haven't gone through anything. If you think that they have changed, they haven't. They are probably about to. Maybe they are going to be forced into some pain cycle and start to grow, but here it seems like they have not done this. They are just like coming back and thinking, so, oh, I missed that person. He was so nice to me. We did those amazing things. I wonder why we broke up in the first place. And now they are coming back, and you have been through hell and back while they were gone, and probably also during the relationship together with them. And here you have an 8 of Pentacles. So this person wants to build something with you. They want to be nice towards you and maybe restore your friendship, solve your problems, but they have no clue, okay? They have no clue what you have been going through. So it might be this will make you a little bit irritated, like a person comes and, do you want to come out and play? And last time you saw them, they were pushing you down a hill on a bicycle. So, well, yes, okay. And they are acting like, because they don't know. Seven of Swords is kind of amnesia, especially together with the Moon, or you had also Seven of Cups. It's like a person, they can't see their own flaws. They can't see their own shadow, because if they did, they need to see the guilt from 10,000 lifetimes or so, or at least the last 3 or something, and they don't want to. But if they do, as I said, they will download this knowledge and everything would be peachy. So we can only hope and, you know, pray a little bit for this to happen. Your words are actually creating. So if you have a little hope for them too, and pray for their awakening, and that they will be able to receive the pain so they can download it and grow. Okay, download it in the body like you are doing here. You're downloading all the things. You are getting aware. This is a revelation and revelation. You're getting very aware of what has been happening to your body, and it's very blunt, it's very direct, it's very it's not without, like, it's no one here being like cradling you during this time. You actually need to go through the actual feeling of it all, the loneliness. No one is supporting you, no one is taking care of you, and there you go, there you died. So you might not have past life memories, but your body is going to remember very clearly. Your body is going to remember this. So start to do a health program. Do a lot of mindfulness. First, mindfulness, like feeling through your whole body from the toes and up. Take 5 minutes on the feet, 5 minutes on the legs, 5 minutes on the buttocks, 5 minutes on the stomach, 5 minutes on the lungs, 5 minutes on the arms, 5 minutes on the hands, because hands and feet are important, and 5 minutes on the head, and maybe 5 minutes also on the back. And you will like feel through your whole body, being very mindful, just being there and receiving it. But then you need to meditate a little bit, because sometimes when you have opened a door like this to the pain, it can be excruciating, and you might lose like all sleep because the body is aching and things like this. So try to meditate after. Meditation is where you breathe in light and you let it spread into your body. So it's calming down the effect. You're not going to have stamina to do this and do this and do this. You need to take pauses and maybe just deal with it for 20 minutes and then meditate for 20 minutes and then go to sleep and hopefully fall asleep as well. But it's like you're doing this big cleaning here, remembering all your deaths, and this other person wants you to come out and play. So, no wonder you are a little bit like going to give them like the truth here. This is what I have learned during this like stupid person. You are like a scholar, and this person is like a 3-year-old saying, can we come out and play? Because you have gone to school, you have gone to college, and they are still in this fantasy land where they haven't realized anything about what's really happening here, because the energy hasn't been able to reach them since they are blocking out their shadow. Okay, and here we have the future. So that's going into the second part of January, where we'll actually have also this great full moon in Leo with the partial lunar eclipse. You can check the astrological video for more information about that. So here you have the 9 of Cups, and it's saying like this, where you are in the relationship you're supposed to be in, because you are supposed to heal all this. So you have asked for becoming liberated. So now you have this situation. Why don't whine? It's like this, don't whine. This is the perfect situation that's actually going to give you exactly what you want. You want to be a happy person and a happy little entity, and to go through all this and do this big spring cleaning with this person that actually is your worst enemy through the eons. Is going to heal you. So it's like the universe says, well, you asked for this and now you got it, so aren't you happy? But it's like the wish card here, 9 of Swords. Okay, yes. So it's a little bit humoristic, because like your divine helpers, it's like this with amnesia. They probably have forgotten how it felt to be on Earth, the spirits that's helping you. So they are thinking like, why are you doing all this fuss? It's just to do this and this and this. They don't remember how it is to be in a body and how it is to feel all this excruciating pain. So they just think that this will be easy, happy dappy, fix it. It's like when I'm giggling, it's like the same energy that they have, like this will be so easy. And yes, so it's the 9, it's connected to the Hermit, like going deep inside yourself and getting self-knowledge. What is it that's make you sad and what's making you happy? What is it that you don't want and what do you want? Start to sort your life and arrange your life after this knowledge that you have about yourself. Okay, if a person in your life doesn't make you happy, even if you love them, don't be with them, okay? Until they have, do some self-realization anyway. And here we have a Page of Cups. Page of Cups. So it's your inner child is one thing I'm feeling, but the main thing I'm feeling is might be like approached again by this energy that hasn't really grown. They still just 3 years old. They haven't grasped like a little finger of the whole, like what they have been through and what they have done and how much they have to heal. So they might have done like this much with that work and nothing more. And you see Page of Cups, Death, Seven of Swords. So they it's like they are going and returning, and it's good. Of course, the divine is saying, well, you wished for them to come back, and because you still love them, and why you wished for them to come back is probably because you want to do the work and heal this. So you're in maybe an on and off situation with something, or maybe it's the same situation repeating itself, like you have the same kind of issue on every workplace you're at, or you meet the same kind of people every time you start to go on classes, or it's like the same thing is repeating, the same kind of challenges is coming, and it's something that you have wished for probably when you went down into this life. So now you get a here you have one chance, and here you get a second chance. It might be the trillionth chance maybe for the same relationship, but it's coming again and again, and it's fire and water. So it might be that you're dealing with a fire sign person, or water sign. It might be a Scorpio as well, but it's like your inner child and their inner child has some work to do together. Yes. Oh, I think it's the broken heart from the feminine and your inner child, like the child and the witch that has been persecuted a lot during the past thousands of years. So here we have the feminine, and here you have your inner child, and this is the death and the broken heart. So it's like you were worth nothing to these people that you sacrificed your life to. You gave your life to, even if you are a man, you have been through this. You have had lifetimes as a woman when you have been given to another man, and they didn't give a rat's ass about you. They didn't care about you. They didn't love you enough. They just throw you to the wolves. It's like this. And here you go, and you need to meet these persons again and again. And for the masculine side of this, it might even be that they haven't done, you know, so much wrong at all. Okay, it might be like this. The guilt doesn't have to be that they have actually been the perpetrator. They might just have been the one that couldn't protect you against this. They couldn't protect you. You died of starvation. They couldn't protect you because they couldn't put food on the table. They died because there come these outside troops, and they couldn't protect you because they weren't educated enough with dealing with arms. Maybe they were peasants, or maybe they were outnumbered. Still, their family died, or there come a disease. The Black Death came, and we see here Black Death came and killed your whole family, and you were the only one surviving. So all this guilt from situations that you really couldn't do anything about is here blocking the view for the masculine side of you, or the masculine person in your life, or for you yourself if you're a masculine person. Because this is the Empress. The feminine and the children has been some victimized in these situations, that this big chunk of karma and memories that you're dragging with you, like when you go, like heavy like this. And here's the child. So I think this side, it might be a feminine person as well that has this guilt in their masculine side, because I'm feeling very that this is like this. And the Page of Wands is like they're coming like a child, because they can't be in the grown-up position. As soon as they feel like grown-up responsibility, they feel all this guilt, and they are like falling to their knees and being totally exhausted, and they can't pick themselves up. and they're becoming like a little child, and they are wanting everyone else to fix things. So if you are dealing with a person that's totally irresponsible, it's because they can't be in their grown-up personality, because that grown-up personality is dead in a well somewhere, like deep buried somewhere, because as soon as they have a lot of karma attached to their responsibility, as soon as they can't be in a committed love relationship, for example, because if they do, they will feel the pain of all the times they lost their most loved ones. And so they can't be in a committed love relationship. As soon as they do, they will feel the pain of every time they lost their most beloved ones. And it was their fault. They feel like it was their fault. So therefore they are going to be like a child. So they don't have any responsibility, and they're going to act childish and immature and sneak away from responsibility and not do the work in the relationship, and sometimes come and do the work and then be gone again and do the same stupid thing. They will act like a 3-year-old. And here you have the explanation, because they have this guilt. And the solution is simple. It's just to stay with the pain. Do the work, do the mindfulness, do the yoga, do the meditation, stay with your body. It's the only thing you need to do, and then we heal the world, okay? So it's easy, but it might be painful. And here you have the Knight of Wands, this energy that you don't trust. And it's no wonder you don't trust this. It's a child that doesn't want to take responsibility. And you probably love them, but you can't trust them. You can't trust this energy. It's impossible. And they are going to hurt you again. We see here they're coming with this heartbreak against this, like your hottest dream about being loved and finally having some commitment and people to trust and that loves you, and here they come, okay, just coming for your heart, coming to break your heart. So be careful with this energy. You're probably stuck to it because of this karmic thing, and the planet's in the exact right position, so you're supposed to solve this now. But you know, take care of yourself. And here you have the 7 of Cups. So they still don't know anything. They still haven't learned a thing. They still haven't dealt with their feelings. It's still there, like this infected wound somewhere inside of them that they don't want to look at. So even though they come back and say that they want to fix things with you, they haven't even started to fix themselves. So they're nowhere near being able to do this, and it's going to be like you're going to be so disappointed. But if you do the work here, it might spread like rings on water, and you might help these other people too. So I will take a card for you from the Wisdom of the Divination Oracle cards. Colette Byron Reed for Pisces. 1 card for Pisces. Thank you. So round and round. Round and round we go, Pisces. It's 25. I'll read this for you. Round and round. I've said this to you already, that you're going round and round. You're doing this again and again and again. Every time the planet's in the right position, you are working with this. And you're trying to solve this. So take the chance. Do the best you can. So you don't have to repeat this endlessly, like in every time Saturn is in Capricorn or whatever. So essential meaning: the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated, cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. The appearance of this card is a reminder that although it may appear that you've gone backward, the truth is that you are standing at a higher level, looking down into your circumstances. It's like you have done it better and better. You have also have a little bit more easier and easier challenges, actually, because every time you learn something, your challenge get a little bit easier. So you're not being executed anymore. Maybe you are just in a difficult relationship at work or in your home or with a love partner or something similar. So you will learn something, do something better, and break a cycle set up in the past. You actually have a bird's eye view of your initial footprints and can access the wisdom and lessons learned. So I'm not going to read everything because I'm leaving some excitement to you if you want to have this deck. Round and round. So you're starting to remember, at least with your body, what has been going on here. and that is your window, your possibility to heal this. So I'll take also a card from Wild Kuan Yin Oracle for you, Pisces. And we have Sisters of Spring Swallow, God Fortune Granted. So it's what I felt like. If you just, you know, if you just do this work, it will become happier and happier. But you're still having this problem. You will become happy, but this person still have, they still need to go through this dark night of the soul that you have been going through for quite some time. So, or if you're on the other side and watching this, your partner has been going through this dark night of the soul, and now it's your turn. It's time for new light and new life to flourish. Springtime is upon you now. This is a sign of hope, new life and fresh starts. What has been cut back is now going to spring forth into life. As you move into springtime of your soul, there shall be much joy, energy, and life returning to you. So we can see this happening with you, but we still have a problem with this this other energy. So I will take a card for that from this this deck. It's for children, actually. It's the Vibrational Earth Children Oracle Cards and Guidebook, but they be A. Anderson. So I won't read the text because it's a little bit childish, but it's for children. But the pictures are amazing. You can see here, your roots rock. So the moons, sometimes we can see the moon is a tree, and the roots are going deep down through the layers of soil, like through all your different lifetimes. That has been like a layer upon layer upon layer. So you need to go to your foundation. You need to go to your like the pain of it all, like find the root causes to, maybe not, you might not remember, you know, all your lifetimes. You don't have to do that. You just need to feel the pain of it and stay with that and do all these practices to heal yourself. So it looks like one side of this is really starting to heal and making a prosperous life for themselves, but the other person is still caught up in the dream. They haven't done the work during the year 2017. That was the end of illusion. So they're still in this illusion, unfortunately, but you are free. So that's good. Okay, my dear Pisces, I hope this helped, and I welcome you back to the mid-month January reading that I will actually do in the end of December or around the first days of January. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay, bye bye.